Sorry, I was on mute. Hello.
Hiya.
How are you, Grace? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. I'm good, thank you. I'm good, thank you. Okay, so this is exciting. This is very exciting. Um, so to start off, I'd like to firstly thank everybody who's viewing this online. Thank you very much for giving up a part of your day to join this. And I'd also like to introduce myself and Grace. So I'm Ibrahim, the president of the Student Union, and with me today is.
Hiya, I'm Grace Series Phillips. I'm part of the Student Sport Development team at the university.
And what a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you, thank you. So this week was mental health, Week, and this year's theme was around kindness. Now, just to give you guys an idea on what has been going on this week, um, we've had a lot of social events on social media. We've had some virtual events and stuff like that. Some of which are a sabbatical officer takeover on Instagram, in which myself and Gerald, the activities officer, went online. Also, Grace did a look after your mate training on Wednesday, which was of amazing sport. On Thursday, there was a book or podcast recommendation run by the university's well-being department. And then finally, Friday, we're here today. This is what we're doing today. So, Grace, could you please tell us more about your role, what you do, and why look after your mate? What is it and why?
So I'm a Student Sport Development Assistant in the Student Sport Development team. Really catchy. We organise and run training for staff and students on different things like mental health, well-being, safeguarding, bystander intervention. So anyone's heard of the Green Dot training, keep a look out for that. Yeah, you've done that. Yeah, so we're hoping to get that one up and running soon. So cheeky little plug in there. Yeah, have a look out for that. So yeah, why look after your mate? So it was developed by Student Minds, who are the leading student mental health charity in the UK. And they did lots of research with students discussing their mental health and how they handle it. And they basically found that peers can be a really key support in supporting each other's mental health. So because students, friends are often like the first people to spot signs, like warning signs in their friends. They're also often the first person that their friend confides in. So they found that students are far more likely to tell their friend that they're struggling than they are to tell their university or to tell anyone else. So they basically developed this peer support model, which focuses on training students so that they have the confidence and they have the knowledge to be able to support their friends who are struggling.
That's quite amazing. That's quite amazing because all of that, I can completely relate to that. I feel like it would absolutely, if one of my friends or I was going through something, I would expect the people closest to me, whom are my friends, to figure out before anybody else. So completely agree with
Definitely.
that. So I was fortunate enough to do this training last year. I've done it, and it was really amazing. It was informative, and it was engaging, and I really loved it. But we live in a very different, strange world now. How has the transition to online been?
Yeah, so unfortunately, we had to cancel our face-to-face sessions, as you can understand. So we developed it for online training. So it's now via Zoom. It's a little bit shorter than the face-to-face training. So that was 3 hours and we've shortened it to 2.5, but it's by no means like a less of a training or a lighter version of the training. We just shortened some of the activities just because doing training face-to-face is a lot easier than sitting in front of a laptop for 3 hours. We just shortened a couple of the tasks, but it's exactly the same content. So we've still got like interactive discussions, interactive activities. There's slightly fewer attendees too, so there's about 12, whereas face-to-face is a few more, just again because it's just easier to train to fewer students online on Zoom. 2 instructors, so because it's a joint collaboration between the Students' Union and the university, there'll be a combination of instructors from both.
That sounds good. I feel like when things started switching to online, quality wasn't always affected as much as people would expect. So, for example, something like Look After Your Mate, from the way you're describing it, some would say it's even more sort of efficient and more sort of informative now. So it's absolutely key to take part. Now, what I want to ask you, last year, I know I did the training. I know some of my colleagues in the SU did the training. I know
Yeah.
fans. I was actually at all the fan training sessions, and all of the fans got trained on Look After Your Mate. This year, what is the goal? What is the aim? Who are we targeting this at?
So we are hoping any student signs up, all students. So whether you're a first year or you're doing a master's or a PhD, we still encourage you to sign up. So even if you're a final year student, so you finished your exams and you're thinking, I don't even go to Westminster anymore, still fine, you can still sign up. Even if you don't currently have a friend who you needs your support, then we still encourage you to do the training, because 1 in 4 people experience mental health difficulties in their life at any one time. So the chances are, unfortunately, at some point in your life, there'll be someone who needs your support. There'll be a friend who does need your support. So yeah, again, encourage anyone. We have had a few people ask whether it's suitable for them, if they've been having difficulties, they've been going through difficult experiences with their mental health or with someone else's, and they're worried it might be a bit triggering for them. We still encourage you to come if that's the case. We do provide a trigger warning, because near the end of the training, there's some discussion of suicide and of self-harm, but it's in very general terms. It's not designed to be a therapeutic space, so we're not expecting to have these distressing discussions. But if anyone does need to take a break, they do need to take a step back, then that's completely fine, and we encourage it. So we encourage you to look after yourself while you're doing this training. So yeah, any student.
Amazing. You know what is it? When things are like that, that's amazing. That's even third year students can do it, because normally universities and companies, when they provide training, there's always conditions. You have to stay here for 2 years extra. You have to this. You have to.
They don't want to invest in you if you're leaving. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's amazing that you're giving the training, and the students can just run with it, and it's for them personally as well.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
yeah. But I want to move on to my next question, which is around what the session actually has and what content it covers. I remember when I did it, I came out a lot more knowledgeable about so many different things. But yeah, I want to ask you, what does it actually contain in it?
A lot. So it covers practical tips, so like actual things you can say, like conversation starters, what not to say, how to spot warning signs, how to start or have a difficult conversation with a friend. Loads of resources, so you learn so much about all the resources available to you and your friend. Also learn about how to support your own well-being. So obviously helping and looking after a friend is an amazing thing, but it can be quite stressful, and it can have a negative impact on your own mental health. So you cover that, how to look after yourself, because you can't look after someone else if you're not in the right headspace yourself. And we also talk about boundaries, so putting boundaries in place, again, to look after your own self-care. And also just because it's so important to know where your support ends and the support of an expert begins. Because obviously we're not expecting students to have expertise, they don't have the professional experience or understanding. So it's just about knowing when to hand over and helping your friend to access these different resources.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And all of the points really hit home for me, but two of them are really, I find them quite powerful, which is how to start a conversation, which a lot of people aren't comfortable with, and also how to set boundaries, which is something I feel like we don't talk about enough. They need to be boundaries, even with friends, so everyone's comfortable and healthy, and that friendship can go on, be healthy. But yeah, so I'd like to move to the next section, which is now this is what we gain. However, what advice would you? Sorry, no. So that's what it contains within it. But what would students take away from this? So I know, for example, for me, I got a lot more confident. I was much more confident. in regards to tackling any of these issues. If a friend came to me to speak to me prior to the training, I'd be so nervous. I'd be
Yeah,
extremely
yeah.
nervous. After the training, I'm more at ease. I understand. So what is the student doing from this training?
Yeah, so I think we've all been there where a friend like opens up to you about something and you just have that like internal panic and you're thinking, I don't know how to handle this situation. I don't know what to say. So the point of this training is to give you the confidence so that you actually think, I know exactly what to say. I know exactly how to support them. So it will also give you on the resources available to you. So yeah, that's what boosts your confidence because you actually think I have all this knowledge. I know exactly what to say, and also because we do talk about boundaries and where you're knowing where your support ends and where the support for professional begins. I think that it relieves the pressure from you, so you don't think like I need to be able to give them all this expert advice because that's not your role. So again, that really helps to boost students' confidence.
True, very true, and it did boost mine personally. Now, what I want to ask you is quite more of a personal question, which is if right now there's someone who's listening, who either has a friend who's struggling with mental health, or they themselves are struggling with mental health, what would you say to them directly?
I'd say if it's you yourself who is struggling, then talk to someone. It sounds really obvious, it sounds really simple, but just reach out because getting that off your chest, that in itself can be really therapeutic. And then they can help you access the support available to you. And if you've got a friend who's struggling at the moment, again, it sounds so simple, but listen. The power of listening is incredible. So just being able to be a good listener without bringing your own assumptions and letting your friend actually explain how they feel, because you might not have the real understanding of what they're actually going through. So definitely that's the first one. And then I'd say the second one, whether it's yourself or it's your friend, access the resources available to you. There are so many free resources available to students.
Okay, let me be cheeky and test you.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I'm
Okay,
ready.
I hear this a lot. I hear people all the time saying, "Oh, there's resources. Check the resources. Check that." What are the resources? What is there?
I think the main one that I cannot stress enough is the counselling service. So many students don't know that the university have a free counselling service they can access. And once you leave university, the NHS counselling service, the waiting lists are so long. So really use the resources available because the counselling service at the Students' Union, the waiting list is only 3 weeks. So might think that's a long time, but honestly, it's not. It used to be 6 weeks. They got it down to 3, and again, it's still so much shorter than NHS waiting lists. You get 6 free sessions, but students actually usually, on average, only need about 5. So at the moment, during this coronavirus, they're offering sessions via Microsoft Teams, so you can video call or you can just audio call instead. That's if you're inside the UK, and if you're outside at the moment, then they can still provide information and resources and signposting to you. So I just think you've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
The students have said, I don't know whether like my issue's that bad, like it's not bad enough. Then let the counselling service decide, because they'll do initial assessment and they might say, yeah, you know what, you're right. Actually, you can access this different resource instead. I just think reach out. You've got nothing to lose. And all
Absolutely. Could not agree anymore. Honestly. All those points are extremely crucial to go. But I want to ask you something a bit more technical. For example, I live right now with my family, and I'm with my family 24/7. I love it. I love it so much. But that would be a barrier for me actually accessing those kinds of things because it's quite personal, it's quite private. And I wouldn't want to be talking about this while they're at home. So, what advice would you give someone who's suffering from that problem?
Yeah, so one good thing about the coronavirus news that Boris Johnson has now said we can go on more than one walk, and we can sit in the park. So that's something that the counselling service has said, that you can actually arrange a time with them, a call that's suitable for you, so that it's a time when you can leave the house and get some privacy. So again, if you wanted to go on a walk or you wanted to sit in the park, that would be fine as long as it was during working hours. Then yeah, so I still encourage you to do that, to reach out to them.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah. Now, what about other resources? So that's the counseling service is there. What about other resources? What is there out there for students?
So I think a big one that students don't realise is your GP. So obviously at the moment during coronavirus, this might be one that you put on hold, but again, you can still call to find out. So the GP can refer you to counselling, to different therapies. They can give you medications. They're a good one. There's also loads of helplines. So you've got Samaritans, Papyrus. So Papyrus is for suicide prevention of people under 35. But if you've got a friend and you're thinking, are you 36? I can't really tell. Just call them. They're not going to hang up on you. And you don't want to go asking people for their proof of ID or anything. Work out date of birth. So still give them a call. There's also loads and loads of websites. So the NHS website is actually really good. We've got Student Mind website, Student Skin Depression. So they've all got loads of resources, and they've got loads of information about specific disorders too. So if you wanted to know a little bit more, or if your friend had a diagnosis, you wanted to know a little bit more, then all the information's on there, and it's really easy to understand. It's not in like scientific jargon. It's like broken down, so it's actually understandable for people. So
yeah.
Great.
I feel like that's the most
the main one that we've got all students here. They're free.
They're free, and please do use them. You are entitled to them to use them. Now, if I can shift the attention back to why we're here, to look into your mate training. So let's say I'm a student. I've sat here. I've listened to everything we've said so far, and I love the idea of the Look After Mate training, and I really want to join. How do I do that?
So you can sign up on the SU website. So you go on uwsu.com/events, and you can register there. So we've got a couple dates coming up for you to sign up to.
Okay, amazing. I'll keep an eye for that. I might do online one, even though I've already done the physical one.
Yeah, do it.
Refresh my memory on it. So I have in front of me a quote from a student that attended Wednesday's session. They put it on LinkedIn. And I wondered that this is a student that does business management and marketing. So what they said about the experience in the session was, I would definitely recommend other students to take part in the Look After Your Mate workshop to feel more confident in supporting your peers through challenging times, as well as looking after your own mental health.
What a glowing review.
Absolutely.
All the time.
Yes, and I promise this wasn't made up here. I promise it's a real, I promise. But that sums it up really well. It sums up the fact that it's for you can help others, and you can also use it for your own development as well as helping your own mental health. But from you, I want to ask, what are the main 3 reasons why students should absolutely get involved in this and do the workshop? What do they gain? What are the 3 main takeaways?
I think that student summarized it really well. My 3 definitely: confidence. So it will give you the confidence so you actually feel competent, and you actually, you're not nervous that you're going to say the wrong thing. I think that's such a key point. Knowledge, you're going to gain so much knowledge on what to say, what not to say, all the resources available to you, and really good one to stick in your CV. So we talk about motivating skills, communication skills, listening skills, which are also great to show off about in your CV. So those are the top 3 reasons.
Amazing, and I can absolutely confirm that after the training, I did get more confident, I did get more knowledge, and best believe it is on my CV.
Yeah, go talk about it on your LinkedIn. Yeah, why not?
Absolutely. So right now we're come to the end of our session. So I'd like to first and foremost thank everybody who tuned in and joined. Thank you so much for giving up some of your time to come and learn about the Look After Your Mate training. And please, we take a moment now, or when we stop talking, to go to uwsu.com/events and sign up for the next Look After Your Mate workshop. Please do that right away. And I'd like to give a huge thanks to Grace for being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure, honestly. And I guess we've reached the end. So thank you very much. Take care, everyone, and take care, Grace.
Take care.